That one
That
kind
one
of
I
sticks
haven't
out.
talked about a whole hell of a lot. Geez, I'm thinking that was in 1990s. That was a very big buck. Um, that deer was shot on one of my best seasons, probably actually my best season ever, because I shot that like a month after shooting the 400-pound slob buck.
Hmm.
So that's a gun buck. Um, that buck, I was hunting a 400-pound slob, and I really had my heart set on him. But the year before, we found one side of that buck's shed antlers. I found one of his sheds. Actually, my friend found it, but I was with him when he found it. And it was laying in a ridge with beds all over it, all tore up. And that fall on one hunt, I had that buck walk underneath me. Actually, that was opening day of gun. I had that buck walk underneath me, but it just wasn't light enough to shoot. But you could see how wide it was. You could tell it was the buck, but it was just too gray. It was just, you know what I mean? I had to let him go,
Yeah.
and he went up to bed on the hill, and I was just going to stay there all day. And about an hour after light, other gun hunters went through the ridge that he had bedded down on. And then I didn't see him in there again. But during the bow season, I only kind of half hunted him because I really wanted to get that giant buck. And I seen him a couple times. But like I said, I was half-hearted. I was glassing this big buck from a parking lot, and ended up shooting that buck by the parking lot. And then, meanwhile, I had a friend who kept calling me, telling me that he was seeing this buck in a field in daylight and stuff, an area that I hunted, coming out in a grassy area. And when gun season came, he told me the same thing, and I went over there and set up on a bedding area where I thought he might be coming from and going to, if he was going into that field. After that initial day, in the early part of the gun season, I kicked him out of that ridge. But then I moved over to this bedding area, and I went in there and I didn't see him. And midday, like 10, 11 o'clock, I got to my truck, went driving out, and he was in the field, like right on the fringe. I just saw movement. I got the glasses up, and he was sitting on the fringe of that field where my buddy had said he kept seeing him. So I drove past, went on a big loop, came back, and actually snuck out there and crawled into where I was close to where I saw him, and slipped up to a fence line. And when I looked through the fence line, he was broadside staring at me,
Hmm.
and shot him with the 12 gauge.
Oh, nice. How far was he?
50, 60 yards.
Oh, okay. Not far then.
Yeah. But he had
No, that's cool
detected
though.
me. He was staring right at me. He made the fatal mistake of waiting too long.
Right. You know what he ended up scoring at all?
I don't. He had 15 scoreable points, 17 points you could hang a ring on. He was
Mm-hmm.
24 inside. I would say he's probably about gross 170.
Yeah. If he had some longer tine length, he'd be real big.
Yeah, and the points other than the 10 were all small points. There
Oh,
was
really?
15 legal points, but 5 of them were only like an inch or two.
Right. Right. If you want to watch more videos, there's options here and here. And if you want to subscribe, you can just click right here.